Let's have a look at the grid. Nicholas Callas on pole position. Finn Zulauf. No, Felix Hersiger, beg your pardon, alongside. Then it is Leighton Furry with Pavel Lefterov for company on row 2 of the grid. On row 3, Jan Duran and Giuliano Holzem will be lining up alongside each other. Then on row 4, Leo Pickler and Alan Valente, another of the big Mustang cars there on that row 4. On row 5, it's Storm Yerdrum, the 16-year-old in the BMW, has Jonas Karklees for company alongside him. Jonas bringing out the safety car yesterday. We're looking to have no repeats of that. The lone Audi with Robin Rogowski at the wheel. Max Rice lines up 12th, having all sorts of issues with that car, along with co-driver Emil Yerdrum. Then it's Tim Hooter and Boudoir Detu who line up on row 7 as they wait for those 5 red lights to go off. And we're racing here for race 2 at Zandvoort. Keanu Blum cutting to the right and then back to the left. A really good start from him. Hersiger dropping back into the clutches of Leighton Furry. Jan Duran with a good start there in the BMW, the yellow and green car, monstering Felix Hersiger just in front of him. Around turn 2 we come, and a wild ride for the Audi of Felix Hersiger out of 2 up onto the banking at turn 3 and going high around the outside. What a great start from Jan Duran.
Getting a replay of the start, and there you can see Alan Valente, out of position at the start, which is why he's got to serve this penalty, run through the penalty box, which is on the exit to turn 12. They have to go through that at a reduced speed, cost them about 5 seconds. That is going to put Alan to the very back of the grid, but a really good start for Keanu Blum, who's just got a bit of breathing space ahead of Leighton Furry, yesterday's race winner. Look at that, around the top of the banking for that yellow and green BMW of Jan Duran. The Spaniard, in his first season of not only GT Masters racing, but GT3 racing. He was the Iberian GT4 champion last year. Spoke to him at the Red Bull Ring, Brian, and he was relieved that the Zandvoort circuit wasn't his first GT3 race. He said Red Bull Ring is much easier to get used to in a GT3 car. Zandvoort is going to be a challenge, but I tell you what, a brilliant 5th in qualifying, and he's going like the clappers now, 3rd place already in the race.
Yeah, he really is. And I was talking to Ethan Brown on the Thursday night, and he said, oh, this track is fearsome. He felt quite daunted by it, but after the first session, the first free practice, his first time around, for his first podium at ADAC GT Masters. But what a start from Keanu Blum. He's broken clear, but Leighton Furry in that 2nd place. He's a man on a mission to get properly back into the points hunt in the championship. The Razzoon More Than Racing Porsches in the background with Giuliano Holzem, and Leo Pickler is the man behind the wheel of the number 41 Porsche. Everybody just trying to fight for positions on the opening lap of the race and under investigation. I did wonder whether Alan Valente had broken rank a little bit early at the start of that race. He is under investigation for that. Look at this, 1st and 2nd and 3rd, absolutely glued together.
Absolutely mega start, wasn't it, from Jan Duran, 5th on the grid, straight up into 4th place. That's Alan Valente trying to get a place, but it's going to be to no avail because Mustang is going to have to serve a run through the penalty box. Audi of Robin Rogalski is up to 8th, and down to 9th place has gone Storm Yerdrum.
We're about to find out why.
Is why, yeah. Oh, way wide. All onto the gravel with 3 of his 4 tyres there. This place is hard enough on tyres without going through the gravel traps here. And he's got back ahead of the Audi, look. So he's ahead of Rogalski, and Rogalski is coming under fire now from the next of the Ford Mustangs, which is going to be co-driven later on by his brother Emil Yerdrum. So Max Rice trying to get in on the action now as well. So Rogalski's been up and down that top 10 somewhat, hasn't he? And that's going to be, I think, 2 places lost in a lap, or is it? No, on his way to the race win yesterday. Here we go again. Robin Rogalski with a very lively Ford Mustang behind him. Max Rice trying to go around the outside now. This is David versus Goliath, the biggest, widest car versus the smallest, most nimble car. A man that's driven both of these types of cars. He's coming up in the background, look, in the next to the Mustangs, which is Alan Valente. He's raced a Ferrari, a Lamborghini, a Mercedes, an Audi, sorry, and also now a Mustang in the championship as Rice gets the better run. And apparently you can be quite aggressive with the Audi. You have to be a lot smoother driving style, though, with the Mustang. Not that Max Rice has been overly smooth with that.
As we look down at turn 2, up onto the banking of turn 3, and now we see a challenge potentially for the lead. Leighton Furry just going low, but has he left himself vulnerable to 3rd place? No, he hasn't at the moment, but he took a much tighter line through the bank into turn 3. Now around 4 and 5 we come. The car's bouncing across the curbs then.
So racing hard, and racing hard with bits of BMW hanging off the back of his car is Storm Yerdrum, who's found a way past Giuliano Holzum. He caught him up pretty quickly. He's on the ragged edge here. He's driving that car by the seat of his pants. Holzum trying to come back at him here and will get through. Only up at turn 5, or will he? No, Yerdrum's going to hang on around the outside as they go up. Contact between them. Holzum does well to catch it and almost had a scary moment heading towards the grass there. But Storm Yerdrum gets through and loses a bit of weight on the car as well. Flings away that bodywork, which gets collected by Robin Rogalski.
The safety car is out, so the gaps that had been built up, it wasn't massive between Kiana Blum and Leighton Furry. This might actually help Kiana Blum. Well done, that man there, that lady there, who has retrieved that piece of car. Weaving as much as he wants. Now he's onto the accelerator. They can overtake once they get to the line, so they can overtake from now. Blum's made a really good start, actually. Leighton Furry, he's very much there, but look at this around the outside. Is that Pavel left her off? We're on board with Felix Hersiger. But Pavel left her off with a nose in front as well in the Porsche, up into 4th place. So left her off, taking advantage of this safety car period. Look at them all up onto the banking, taking different lines. Fury takes the lower line and a turn 3. Now it's a drag race around towards turn 4. This takes a lot of courage up over the blind crest of the hill. Here they come. Keanu Blum keeps his foot buried on the throttle. Leighton Fury's not done yet. Down towards Shy Black they come. Yandaran in the background, but keep an eye on Pavel Lefterov, keeping them in view as well. Hersiger's been shuffled down the back. Storm Yerdrum in the background as well. But the challenge for the lead continues. Kiana Blum holding on despite immense pressure. But now Furry with a nose in front, heading in towards turn 9. Still Blum muscles his way back there again. Behind there are challenges, 4 places. Leo Pinkler there in the other of the Porsches, also challenging. We're on board briefly with Pavel Lefterov. He's got Felix Hersiger all over him like the proverbial cheap suit. Now Duran Duran getting shuffled down the order, so Lefterov up to 3rd place. Duran Duran relegated a position and into the clutches of Felix Hersiger. This is great racing. Storm Yerdrum on the outside. Into 13 they will come. The lead duo have broken clear of the rest of the pack for just a few moments. Leighton Furry's not done yet. Is he going to make a challenge as they head out of Harry Lyndike, out along past the pits, in towards turn 1? Is the challenge going to come now? He's flashing the lights, trying to distract. Kiana Blum is not for distraction. He goes to cover off the inside. Furry's going to try and go the long way round the outside. He can't make it stick. He ducks in down behind. Into 2 they will come, then up onto the bank into turn 3. We know that Furry can go low through turn 3 when they get there, because he did it on the previous lap. Will Keanu Blum try and cover that off? He goes high.
Down to 5th, Storm Yerdrum in 6th and Pickler in 7th in that lead group. And then the Aston Martin coming under pressure. The 2 tries to fend off Valente. Valente gets the cut back on the inside though, coming out of turn 12, and he gains another place. This is exactly what Alain Valente needed to get rid of some of that time he lost during that run through the penalty box. So Valente, one to watch here from a runner-up in the championship. Said to me at the start of the weekend he's really enjoying the Mustang. It's the car that's most like the Mercedes that he used to race when he was championship runner-up. Look at Jan Duran, looks right, looks left, tries to find a gap here to get around Pavel Lefterov and get himself back into a podium paid position. He's going to try and fling it around the outside now. The BMW's got his nose in front. He's got the inside line for turn 2, and he'll have the inside line for turn 3. You're on board with Lefterov. He might lose another place here to Felix Hersiger, who gets down the inside of it. And it much to the detriment, I'll say, of the Holzum twins, who were looking like they've got a nice, comfortable lead until that safety car came out. They were pretty distraught to have finished 2nd. And now look at this. Yolanda Holzum coming under fire from Max Rice in the Mustang. They certainly seem to have got that car, as you say, working a bit better.
Also there, Storm Yerdrum comes in with what remains of that BMW, and it'll be Fabio Rao who will jump out, help him out of the car, and then get behind the wheel of the FK Performance Motorsport. So Callas in the Mustang, seeing the BMW alongside into Tarzan, turn 1. It's a drag race out of 1 in towards 2, but Rao with a nose in front now, so shuffling the long-time race leader even further back down. Callas goes really high on the banking, but that BMW
Yeah, I remember the Lamborghini was the one that came in right at the top of the pit window, wasn't it? Hursinger trying something different. He could see there was a queue ahead of him. Look at this, at the inside goes Fabio Rauer to get ahead of the Porsche now. At the number 1 Mustang, the blue and gold one, now driven by Emil Yerdrum. That is up to 7th place. Look at this, Simon Conner-Prim, we know he's a really good driver. Race winner here last year, trying to get alongside the Colin Berninghausen Porsche, but also defend from Jamie Day's Aston Martin for Come To You Racing. Jamie Day gets clobbered on the way into the right-hander at turn 13. Undeterred, looks to the inside line, backs off out of that, kicking up the dash just in front of them is the Porsche. Oh, there's almost contact. There is contact into the barriers, into the wall goes the Audi of Simon Conner-Prim. Contact because slowing in front of them already, I think, was that Mustang of Max Cucurese. I think he had a problem already had a moment.
Safety car.
They were all 3 of them together.
Doing well to avoid getting involved as well. So up ahead, Cucurese is having a moment, and then Simon Conner-Prim just finds him coming back up to speed.
Joseph Ellerine in 4th place. That was the car started by Jan Duran, but we are going to get a red flag.
Oh, and that may well be because of damage to the barrier. So the cars are going to be brought back. Probably to the pit lane, I imagine. Well, they'll certainly keep them low coming through that corner. So the red flag, the clock will stop, and the cars will come to a stop here as well. It may well be there's been some damage to the barrier.
But I just don't think Max saw those cars coming, did he? And it was just nowhere to go for the Audi driver, unfortunately.
So they can line up the car in front, but they cannot actually make a move. They're fanning out of turn 14 at the moment. Out across the line we come. I don't think anybody overtook, but Nicholas Callas was blooming close to it, wasn't he? He's now got a nose in front of Joseph Ellerine into turn 1, but he's gone deep. And that's allowed Mark Kastelitz through. And Joseph Ellerine, all that hard work from Jan Duran. He drops to stone last. What a shame.
Let's have a look then on the replay.
So it was here, wasn't it? That is where the investigation is, and he will argue that Ellerine was slowing down.
Yeah.
And that will be the argument from the team, I think,
Yeah.
as we see him coming through.
Just didn't nail the restart, did he, Ellerine? And it bottlenecked everybody up, and he was sort of caught between a rock and
Right, message and race control. Car 2 under investigation for overtaking under the safety car. That is Nicholas Callas. We said we thought they'd gone a little bit early, and this would be significant in the championship. Along with Leo Pickler, of course, taking the win at the Red Bull Ring, now getting involved in the battle here.
Callas out wide. He was trying to defend and attack at the same time. Trying to defend from Colin Berninghausen. There goes on the attack alongside Emil Yerdrum in the Mustang. Two Mustangs, two teammates together through the gravel trap, losing track.
Emil Yerdrum will get promoted to 6, and Nicholas Callas is going to have to do all that hard work again.
Look at Sandro also and Jamie Day itching to get involved in this in the BMW and the Aston Martin just behind. So too John Paul Southern, who goes left, right, left again. Tries to find a gap, can't find a gap. And then Lamborghini sideways for Emil Yerdrum. And then back ahead of him is going to come Nicholas Callas, and so too the BMW of Sandro Olsem as they whip together, all 3.
There in the background is Joseph Ellerine as well.
Mark Kastelitz in the first of the Porsches, 4th place, the number 14 car. Continues to take time out of Fabio Rauer's BMW each and every sector. He was 4/10 quicker.
They took the win in race 2, the Red Bull Ring, their first ever, well, certainly it was Colin Berninghausen's first ever win in ADAC GT Masters, and would really love to add to that tally. Right, look at Sandro Olsem, far from closing in on Nicholas Callas, is having to defend like mad from Jamie Day, who in turn is having to defend from John Paul Southern. This is for 7th place. He won the race this time last year here at Zandvoort. He won his 2nd race at the Red Bull Ring at the season opener. He can now call himself a 3 times winner in ADAC GT Masters, and a 2nd ever win for Felix Hursinger, his co-driver. A great haul of points to extend the lead at the top of the championship. 2nd across the line, Tim Zimmerman and Leighton Fury, and a 1st ever podium for Fabio Rauer.
As every picture is done, it's once again time for champagne!
And there you can see the classification of race 2, all subject to confirmation after the cars have been scrutinized, and the race directors have looked at probably an awful lot of video, but I don't think there's any doubting at all. Finn Zulauf and Felix Hersiger taking their first win as a duo, their second win as a duo this season. They took their first at the Red Bull Ring and extending their lead in the championship.